race. We've got the slower guys at the front really making a bottleneck.
So John Philippi then on pole position, alongside him on the front row, Thiago Monteiro. Then it's Ted Bjork, Tom Chilton, Norbert Mihalitz and Nestor Girolami. We're waiting for the lights to go off. The man with the green flag's been across, and we're waiting for that run down to the first corner. Who's going to do it? And it's stalled for Philippi, stalled on the grid. It's the 18 car, Monteiro, shot into the lead from Tom Chilton, and Ted Bjork managed to get round that stalled car of Philippi. But oh, that was a great shame, and in fact, it is Monteiro still holding it, and Bjork comes round the outside of him. Can he hold it?
Oh, Chilton trying to force Bjork out, but Bjork's going to have the inside on the run down to turn 2. What is Jean Philippi? He keeps his 100% record up. Poor guy, I feel so sorry for him. But as Chilton, now Chilton's in front of Bjork, but Chilton's going to have the inside for 3, so it looks like he's made the move stick. Oh, Michelitz gets in the back of Bjork, so he's on the move. He's not going to want to get... Oh, and there's some bumping and barging.
Yeah, but look at that, Monteiro's got a real run. There are some bits of debris on the track we saw flying, then again.
Oh, Bjork being very heavy-handed with Michelitz there.
Yeah, that was a big thump, wasn't it?
He's not afraid of handing it out at the moment. Looks like Michelitz should have track advantage going into the chicane.
Yeah, there he is in the number 5 car with the 62 of Bjork alongside him, and both the Volvos trying to get through the chicane together. They don't fit though.
No, Girolami straight lines it, and Bjork's beaten up from behind. Looks like Guerreri got into him, but I think they make a rod for their own back there. Look, Bjork.
Ted's got a rear puncher wheel, or is it broken suspension? He is pulled off.
Guerreri's is he compromised? It looks like he's slowed. Huffy's got a run on him anyway.
Oh dear, that was quite unnecessary, wasn't it, in the first chicane? But this is racing, Matt.
I think Bjork was just panicking that he was losing too many places too fast and tried to stand his ground, but oh, it's like M25 on rush hour at the minute.
And here comes Huffy then, trying to get himself up the order in that black Citroen Inkle.com car.
Aurelian Panis getting into the back of Bernani there, sees an opportunity to make some places. He's had a good opening lap, strong opening lap so far.
Wow, this is what you call trying to win the race on the first lap of 12. And Monteiro then, as they come across the line from Chilton, and it's Girolami, and here is Norby with the front puncher. Bjork also compromised, so 2 of our favourites out already.
Just came into my car. I have some damage, big vibration.
Yeah, we can see that front left has either got a puncture or damage to the rim, hasn't he?
Yeah, Huffy could. Huffy's cracking at the minute. It's a great opening lap. Can he get it? The problem is Guerreri has got a good weight advantage on the Citroen, the Huffy Citroen. So if he gets to a straight line, the Chevrolet should have the edge, which is going to make it. It's hard to overtake round here at the best of times. That's going to be a real wound for the Hungarian fans. I wouldn't like to be Bjork trying to get out the circuit tonight. No,
Bjork and Mihalitz, having taken themselves out of the front runners, mean that Huff and Co have now moved right up the order. And here we are. Let's see if we can see where the damage is. I think it's that front left.
Well, that's it doesn't take a rocket science to work that out. It's hanging off at the minute, but I just hope the suspension isn't worked out too bad. Look at the pollen in the air over there. That could be getting clogged up in all the air intake. So
Ted Bjork's in the pits as well. Can they get either of those cars back out? So it's Monteiro, Chilton, Girolami, Guerreri, Rob Huff up into 5th, Nick Katzberg into 6th, and Bernani. What a great start for Bernani. He started on row 7. He is now 7th.
This is an absolute gift for Monteiro. It's like the Eurovision Song Contest all over again, isn't it?
I thought we weren't going to mention that again.
I bet he's humming it all the way around at the moment.
Even Tommy Coronel finds himself up in 10th place, so he has jumped up some 3 places since the start of the race. Out comes Norby then, back into the fray, but it's just going to be to get a finish, isn't it?
Well, to get a finish, and he also needs to make sure the car is in first-class order for the second race.
And look at that, he's been almost lapped by the field.
Now, could we see Norby play rear gunner to let Thiago through and then start playing rear gunner to help him out? Because it looks like Thiago's under pressure from Chilton.
Damage to Huff's car on the side. He's got on the left-hand side of the car, he's got the door sill hanging off, if you look.
Yeah, I haven't seen that because he got together with Guerreri a little bit, but I thought that was on the other side of the car. I think it was kicking off so much in that opening lap, Mark, I didn't see what was going on.
Yeah. So we'll just see if we can follow that. Probably hasn't done any damage. It might just affect the aero slightly. You can see it flapping in the breeze there. We're on board that car.
Lachey got Aurelian Panis under pressure. 80 kilo Honda, applied 0 kilos on the Lada, so the Lada should have the edge, especially as the race. Yes, look at the acceleration he gets out of turn 5. Gets the. Oh, that was a bit messy.
Yeah, Aurelian had to take to the inside. The two French drivers then slugging out here in Hungary, and again,
Panis almost got jumped by Coronel at the same time.
Right, yeah, Tom is having a great race, isn't he? He's coming up the order to rate of knots.
And Bernani qualified really well, but he had a. It is Bernani? No, it's John Philippi, isn't it? Coming up through.
Philippi up
trying to right all his wrongs from the first lap.
But I mean, that car just stayed still while the rest of the field, and Ted Bjork did well to get round him, but then he and Norby Mihalis came together. So
getting Greason at the back of this crocodile, getting some good miles under his belt, keeping it solid, and he'll be looking for an opportunity to see if he can just move up and slide up the inside.
So Felipe moves up another place into 11th, goes ahead of Ryo Mishigami. Mishigami-san doing all he can to hang on to that top 10 place, but no, he's lost it. And here comes Huff then making a move.
He's going for it on the brakes.
Goes past Guerreri.
Good move. Good move. It's, Guerreri, I don't know whether he sort of let him through or whether he's trying to be tactical to let him go and see if he can make progress, and they can both close on Girolami.
Looking backwards from Huff at Guerreri. And Norby is back in again. There's too much damage to continue. They're going to dolly it into the garage. As Tom Coronel has a go at Panis.
The problem is this, with the Hungaroring, there's so many sequences of corners which double back on themselves. So you get the inside line, but then you're hung out on the outside for the next section. So you really, it does promote some real door banging.
I think this is why drivers probably refer to it as Monaco without rails, because that very much that same thing. You've got to get into a sequence. And anyway, here we go. Tom Coronel having a go down the inside part.
Yeah, you see the weight advantage of the Chevy just off turn 5 on the heavy Honda of Panis.
This is for 9th place.
This is only going to get worse for Panis as the race goes on, because with that extra 80 kilos, it is going to be tough on his tyre wear around here, especially in this heat.
Well, Rob Huff's dorsal damage is doing him no harm, because he's just set the fastest first sector of anyone at 39 in the first sector of the track. And Rob trying to move up
first
now.
sector, yeah, yep. Ballistic. That is half a second clear of anybody. Panis just missing his apex a wee bit, running wide. Coronel sees the opportunity. Has he got space on the outside? Yes, Panis goes wide again.
Yep, he's going to lose place as well, I think, to Felipe if he's not careful. Felipe goes for the inside.
Yeah, so can Coronel make any intros into Lachey, who is just a couple of seconds up the road now?
Standing out as they come down to turn 1. This is the fight for 9th place back. You've got Coronel, Panis, Felipe, Naj, and Ryo Mishigami.
Yeah, the Zenga Motorsport, the green and black Zenga Motorsport Honda's faring a lot better than the cars did in the European Touring Car Cup, who ended up in the barriers and all sorts of scenery in that one, even though they were quick.
Oh, a huge bounce there for Daniel Naj. Did you see that? Just took some curb and the car really took off on one side in that.
Philippi got the bit between his teeth. He's a little bit bottled up behind Panis at the moment, as is Huff behind Girolami. Huff's got him in his sights now. He's hunting him down. Citroen's got a 20 kilo advantage over the Volvo, and Huff has had the speed all weekend, so.
Yeah, but interestingly, fastest lap of the race so far, Guerreri, but Huff is second fastest now, and he's only just about 1/10 of a second off his fastest lap time.
Pushing the track limits, Huff showing him his nose, he's letting him know he's here.
Yeah. Remember, Girolami is carrying 20 kilos more than this man.
Yeah, Girolami he's a proven hand of Argentinian touring cars, amongst many other things. So he knows how to take pressure and he knows how to race hard. So it's I think a lot of it will be how much his car holds up. He hasn't had the ultimate pace of, say, Katzberg this weekend, but Katzberg's a little bit further back in this one.
Yeah, so if Rob can get the podium here, that's going to be great for him, because he'll start on pole in the main race and give him such a bundle of points here, but he's got to get past that Volvo first.
Yeah, Chilton still shadowing Montero waiting for a mistake, but looks like Thiago's keeping it really nice and tight at the moment.
So Rob's mother Kate there and Father Peter in the background looking on as Rob tries to go the long way round.
Is he trying the switchback? He's going to leave him on the outside for 3 though. He'll get a good run out.
This is where we had the mega accident this morning in the WTCC race as Labo got caught on the curbs and slammed into the barriers on the inside.
Yeah, even with the weight, you have to say the cars are very evenly matched in a straight line.
Yeah, big lock up though for Rob then. Ooh.
It's not too bad at the rear tyre as it kicks up in the air, so he'll just be skipping across the surface. Into the technical section, this is where Huffy's been strong with the Citroen all weekend, so he should close on him. See if he can put him onto some pressure as we're going into sort of 8 and 9 with a 90 left, 90 right.
7 laps still to run here at Hungary. What's happening here? Oh, big moment there for Huff. Had 2 wheels off the ground.
That's touring car racing, Mark. He's having a flash in his lights. He's doing all sorts to try and just distract the Argentinian. Can he? How will he leave the door open into 13? No. Girolami keeps it tight.
Yeah.
All the problem is for Huffy is all this time Montero and Chilton are just going tick, tick, tick as they've managed to get further up the road. If it's only by a tenth or half a tenth a lap, it's just giving him a distance. And it's obviously he's losing that front end downforce, so it's going to be wearing his tyres harder. He's flashing his lights again. Yeah, I think they need brighter lights on that Citroen to try and do something.
The gap now 2.6 seconds between Girolami and leader Montero. Tom Chilton still sticking with Montero, but gradually that gap is widening, 0.7 of a second on the last lap. Here's the 3rd place battle, Girolami in half. Behind them, Guerrieri and Katzberg in the other of the Volvos. We have not had Ted Bjork back out on track. He pitted at the end of lap 2. He stayed there. Norby has been in and out. He's just come out again. But that
the
car
problem with Huffy, he's had such a rotten start to the season at Marrakesh. He's behind on the points and he needs points desperately. So he's looking racy. I'm sure he's feeling racy, but he's got to get the finishes. He's got to get points in the bag.
This is from Guerrieri looking back at Katzberg and Bernani chasing him. Bernani unable to move up any higher than 7th, but as he started from 14th on the grid, I think he should be quite pleased with his afternoon's work so far.
Yeah, it looks like Katzberg's starting to put Guerrieri under pressure now. I thought Guerrieri, with his weight advantage and he was super quick in qualifying, that he'd have gone with Huff and be in that train with Girolami to try and put the Volvo man under pressure.
Swedish Polestar team guys looking on for the pits there, of course, full-on factory effort run by Volvo, for Volvo.
There's a few track limits issues there. It seems to be a bit of a lottery. Katzberg has a sniff. Guerrieri has got him covered.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time though, Matt, before we see that position change.
Bernani was super quick. He's in the 3rd of this train. He was super quick in testing and qualifying, but had to start at the back of the grid by virtue of grid penalties. But he's coming back into the fray now. He's made good progress so far. Okay, there have been a couple of casualties, but up to 7th, it's a strong showing so far.
Yeah, this is the fight further back. This is Panis, Naj, Mishigami and Kevin Gleeson at the back of that little group.
Oh, Gleeson looking for the slipstream.
Oh.
Naj has gone defensive.
Kevin's learning very fast.
Naj on the dirty side of the track.
Of course, did some TCR racing.
Katzberg's through. Katzberg's through.
Done it. We said it was a matter of time, didn't we? And I think I'd like to see a replay of that. I think Guerrieri just got caught out on the cutback then, didn't he?
Now, can Katzberg make any inroads to put Huff under pressure to take pressure off Girolami?
And can Bernani take that place away from Guerrieri? That's the other thing. So, 8 of 12 laps completed.
Still status quo at the front, just 0.6 of a second separating Montero and Chilton, with Girolami and Huffy a further 2.3 seconds back. So if Montero blinks in the wrong place, then this could be another win. After Monza, yet another win for Chilton.
Drivers are being told there's debris on the track at the exit from turn 6. I think that's been there for some time now, isn't it? That's at the chicane. And,
probably bits of Volvo left over.
so here we go, in the 25 car. This is Benani now, lining up Guerrieri.
The Citroen is retrospectively a fair bit heavier than the Chevrolet. So Guerrieri should be able to get him off the corners, be slightly lighter on his tyres. Citroen does work well though. He's Huffy, still under pressure, still looking for the opportunity.
Now, can he get him on the cutback as they go down into turns 2 and 3? This is always the best place to do it.
I saw Huffy in the paddock, and oh yes, he's pushing. He's got his exhaust. I was telling him, you've got to finish and get points. Now I'm here sitting in the commentary booth. I'm saying, go on, get stuck in. You want them to race, don't you?
Well, I'd like to see that shot again. I could put a dent in one of the exhaust pipes.
Yeah. What's a tailpipe between friends?
Here we go. This is the
moment. Well, I think Girolami just slowed it up on the apex. He was playing the game and it caught Huffy out a wee bit. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah. Boom. Ooh, nice little tap there. That's not Rob's style, of course. So that was unintentional, but perhaps that has unsettled Girolami enough to let Rob now take the place. Oh, went for the inside, didn't he?
And we thought we'd have a look at Peter Huff instead.
Yeah, couldn't quite make it.
I'm glad it didn't. The overtake didn't happen. I would have been gutted if we'd have missed that live.
Car 12, then driving standards. That is Rob Huff.
Really?
Stewards don't like that.
Really?
Race direction. Yeah.
Come on.
It's a black flag. It's a warning. It's not a black flag, but so just letting Rob know you've got to be a little bit gentler with your opponent ahead of you.
With everything else which has been going on, that's a bit ridiculous, that one. Okay, so he's got 2 laps.
Yeah. Can the Citroen do anything about the car ahead? That Volvo has another look down the inside into turn 1. It's a long shot.
Chilton still under 6/10 behind Thiago, so
he's closed up a little bit. It was 0.7 at one stage. So
Katzberg really not making great inroads into Huff. He's closing up a wee bit, but not enough to be able to do it in the time left, I don't think.
A very good race for Tom Chilton. We haven't seen hardly anything of him or Montero, of course. They're out on their own at the front. They've been concentrating quite rightly on this great battle. There we go. There is Tom Chilton just going for the picture. Then comes Girolami, then comes Huff. So he's still not able to do anything on that switch. Going through turns 2 and 3.
Yeah, Girolami's hanging on, isn't he? He wasn't spectacular yesterday, as he has been in previous meetings, but he's hanging on. You know, Huff was super fast in qualifying. I expected him to be putting him under more pressure, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but of course he's going to have, whatever he does, it's going to have to be done cleanly, because he's already had 1 warning for tapping him.
That was a bit of a fast warning, though. You've got to admit that. It was. I would have actually said that was Girolami playing the game and slowing it up.
Well, they are.
Katzberg is now coming into the mix, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it might be too little too late, because there'll be 2 laps.
He only needs to be behind in 1 corner. Some of the best opportunities are into 13 and 14, the 2 180-degree hairpins. Remember Mansell at the end of 1989 Grand Prix, was
1989, yeah.
Round the outside, last turn.
Yeah.
I don't think you do that in a touring car. I haven't quite got the same amount of downforce.
And that was from 12th on the grid, so he had a great race, didn't he, here in Hungary? Anyway, here we go into the penultimate lap. Race leaders go over the line, and Huffy having another go. We're just trying to sell a dummy, isn't he, to Girolami.
He's bucking and squirming under the brake, so he's not leaving a lot in the tank.
But here's his chance now as they go down into 2 and 3. Can he get the cut back? He's alongside him. He's going to have to stay there.
Go on, Huffy, you can stay on the outside. You can have him for 3. Go on, Girolami, is he forcing him wide? Huff can stay there, hang him out. He's got the inside. Yes, he has.
Oh, but
good move, good move.
A couple of taps. I just hope the race direction isn't considering those.
No.
Yeah, but nicely done.
That was a class move. I thought he'd get hung out round 2, but he held on.
Here we go.
That was really good. Just managed to keep his nose in, and then he had the inside for 3.
Probably wasn't even a touch actually, was there? That was nicely done. So Huffy on the podium, which is great as he's going to be on pole for the race 2. So halfway around the penultimate lap here of the opening race. World Touring Car Championship, and Matt, been a great race so far.
Yeah,
but too close to call.
Banani's still unable to find a chink in Guerrieri's armour. Hanging on, pushing to the edge of the track limits. He's looking. He's definitely looking. Here comes the Citroen.
I think again, it's.
Will he try and dive bomb him into the second last one? Guerrieri's keeping it tight. He's keeping it very tight. Good work.
Allez, messieurs, on peut le doubler, c'est des gros points, allez.
I think it's too little, too late.
Yeah, was that Moroccan?
Oh, on to the final lap.
So the gap between Montero and Chilton, 0.6 per second now. Huff has dealt with Girolami, so this is now the main interest. Can Banani get past Guerrieri?
Well, can Chilton do anything? Because he's still only 6/10 behind Montero, and will we see an in-house fight between the 2 Volvos? Because Katzberg does look more racy than Girolami. Will he have a stab at him on the last lap? Because he has been carrying more speed the last few laps.
Yeah, last time round there's a half second between them, and that's a lifetime. Here we are though. They just saw them going through the picture, so hopefully our director will pick up on that. There's Tom Chilton then. That's as close as he's been, I think, the whole race to Montero.
Well, Montero, you'd have to say it's quite a boring race for him, but is that exactly like the Eurovision Song Contest? I'm going to get shot for saying that. No, it's been a solid race for Montero. He's done what's been needed, hasn't he? He jumped the start, got Philippi off the start, and then he's held on. Chilton's put him under immense pressure. He shadowed him literally every lap from start to finish, so just waiting for that mistake. But I mean, Montero, he has been on a bit of a back foot this weekend. They was ultra fast in the wet, but then the Hondas didn't seem to have it when it came to dry qualifying. So to come away with a race win in the first one, and then the second one's a bonus, is an absolute blinder for Montero.
So here we go then. Checker flag is waiting. The Eurovision Song Contest winner about to take the win from the 2 roast beefs, Chilton Huff, and the 2 Swedish chefs, Girolami and Katzberg.
Vai, Thiago! Vai, Thiago! Vai, Thiago!
There I think he should be pretty pleased with that,
Yeah,
especially with Ted Bjork out, one of his key championship rivals.
Done, Thiago, well done.
Yeah, and full credit also to Tom Chilton, Rob Huff. Great drive by those 2. Very, very tidy. Rob Huff, I agree with you. That was an unfair call, wasn't it? Black and white flag.
It was a bit mean. I mean, the other thing for Montero, in the internal politics, it strengthens the team's focus on him. Just rotten luck again for Michelitz in that opening lap. Norby doesn't look for it, but it's not fallen his way again.
Panis wins his battle with Mishigami, and Gleason, Nagy. But Filippi, I believe, has stopped on that last lap. We haven't seen him cross the line yet.